Hello, everyone. In the depths of our shared human experience lies a haunting query that has echoed through the corridors of our curiosity. What happens when the abyss gazes also into us? Today we delve into a tale whispered in hushed tones, a story that peels back the layers of marital fidelity and plunges into the chilling depths of infidelity. Brace yourselves, for this episode promises to be a chilling descent into the labyrinth of deception. If you like such stories, please like this episode. Let's get started. I should have left the moment she said she needed space. That should have been enough. But love, or whatever shadow of love I had left in me, kept me close. You never really know who you've married until you see what they worship in the dark. My name doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that once I thought I had a life, a wife, a son, a job that kept me traveling, but fed us. I thought cracks in a marriage were normal. Arguments, cold shoulders, slammed doors. I thought people healed. I thought distance gave clarity. But Elena, my wife, she didn't need distance to breathe. She needed distance to feed something else. It began quietly, like a sickness you don't notice at first. She would vanish for hours, sometimes a whole night. When I asked where she had been, her words unraveled into nonsense, accusations, sobbing, laughter. It was like she was breaking apart inside and I couldn't reach her. At first I thought it was another man. Jealousy burned me from the inside out. I followed her. I checked receipts, questioned neighbors. I pressed and pressed until she screamed at me to stop. But it wasn't another man. It wasn't anything human. One night she left again. I couldn't resist. I tailed her through the city, through cracked streets where the lamps flickered like dying stars. She entered a gray building, faceless among a row of forgotten apartments. My gut clenched. Something about the way she climbed those stairs, hurried, almost desperate, told me I shouldn't follow. But I did. The apartment was bare, damp, suffocating. The air was too heavy, like breathing through wet cloth. And in the middle of the room, under a single hanging bulb, she collapsed. She shook, convulsed, her body twisted in ways I didn't understand. She clawed at the walls. Her screams bounced off the concrete, rising, falling, like something inside her was tearing to escape. I thought she was dying. I rushed forward, but she screamed at me to stay away. Her face wasn't hers anymore. It was stretched, hollow, her eyes rolled white, like she was seeing something I couldn't. And then she laughed. A guttural laugh, like a second voice hidden inside her throat. I left. I admit it, I ran, but I couldn't stop thinking about that room, about what she was doing there, about what held her so tightly she was willing to abandon me, abandon our son, abandon herself. Days passed. She avoided me. I avoided her. But I returned to that building. I told myself I'd find proof of an affair, of some disgusting betrayal. What I found was worse. The smell hit me first. A damp, sweet rot, like fruit left in the sun. The room was darker this time, curtains nailed shut. On the floor, food containers, dirty blankets, broken glass. And in the far corner, something covered by cloth, pulsing, wet. Elena sat beside it, rocking back and forth, whispering. She didn't look at me, didn't even flinch when I entered. She only kept whispering, stroking whatever writhed beneath the cloth. I wanted to scream. I wanted to drag her out of there. But my body froze. Something about the sound under that cloth, the faint slither, the slow, sticky breaths, it rutted me to the ground. Then it shifted, and I swear to you I saw an arm, not quite human. Something forming. I stumbled back. She finally looked at me. And her eyes, God, her eyes were alive with devotion. She said only one thing. It's becoming. I ran again. I always ran. But each time I swore I'd never return, something pulled me back. Curiosity, dread, obsession, it doesn't matter. I kept going back, and each time the thing under the cloth was less hidden. Once I saw its face, or what tried to be a face. Skin slick like it had just been born, but wrong. Eyes cloudy, teeth not fully formed, and yet familiar. Almost like my own reflection stretched across something else. I begged Elena to leave it, to come home, to see our son. But she spit in my face and screamed that I could never understand. I didn't, but I was beginning to. She wasn't cheating on me with a man. She was creating something, feeding it, loving it, and whatever it was replacing me. I began to unravel. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I followed her every step, and every step led back to that damned apartment. I'd wait outside, hours on end, hearing muffled cries through the walls, sometimes hers, sometimes not. One night I pressed my ear to the door, and what I heard inside I still can't erase. Moans, gasps, the wet sound of flesh on flesh, but not passion, not love, no, it was hunger. It was creation. When she opened the door, her clothes torn, her eyes wide, she looked reborn. She shoved past me, and behind her, for a split second, I saw it. Taller now, standing, a shadow in my shape, watching me with blank eyes. I vomited in the hallway. I told myself to take my son and leave. I told myself to burn that building to the ground. But when I returned home, there she was, sitting at the table, acting like none of it happened. She smiled. She asked about my day. Her hand shook as she cut bread. Her eyes darted to the window, as though she was listening to something outside. I screamed at her, demanded answers. She only said this, "You're already gone." It got worse. The days blurred. I began seeing things. My own reflection watching me when I knew I was alone. Footsteps pacing the hall outside my bedroom at night. My son whispering about the other daddy who came to see him when I was away. I lost control. My mind fractured. I'd wake with blood on my hands, not knowing whose. I'd find myself at that building without remembering the walk. And always it was growing stronger. The last time I entered that apartment, it was complete. I saw myself, standing there in the dim light, pale, perfect, soulless. Elena stood beside it, her hand in its hand. She looked happier than she ever had with me. She kissed it. She embraced it, and it smiled at me. My own smile, stretched too wide. I screamed. I begged. I threw myself at them, but the room collapsed into chaos. Screams, shadows, bodies colliding. I don't remember how I escaped. I only remember Elena's laughter chasing me down the stairwell, echoing. That was the last time I saw her alive. They said she died in that room. They said her body was found in pieces, but not by human hands. They said nothing else was there. No man, no intruder, just her. But I knew the truth, because sometimes I see him walking across the street, standing at the end of the hall, watching me sleep. And he's waiting for the day I finally vanish so he can take my place completely. So if you see me one day smiling too wide, staring too long, know this: it's not me. Now let's have a chat in the comments. What do you think happened in that apartment? Could you trust your partner if they suddenly disappeared for nights on end? Drop your thoughts below. And hey, if you liked this episode, don't forget to show your support. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember, the most terrifying monsters are sometimes the ones we create in our own minds.